It's important to underline that close to 90% of truckers in this country are vaccinated, like close to 90% of Canadians. Over the past many months and years now, Canadians have stepped up to protect each other, to protect our frontline workers, to protect our elders, to protect our young people, to protect people like truckers who are putting food on our grocery store shelves. Canadians have stepped up to do the right thing to protect the freedoms and the rights of Canadians to get back to the things we love to do. We know the way through this pandemic is by getting everyone vaccinated. And the overwhelming majority, close to 90% of Canadians, have done exactly that. The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science and stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, our values as a country.
This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and in just a few days from now, ladies and gentlemen, the largest convoy in human history will be arriving at Parliament Hill in Ottawa, and this has the Trudeau government shaking in its boots. Small fringe? Unacceptable views? Yeah, I think the nearly 80,000 people who donated over $6 million isn't exactly fringe. This is a movement and is not going away anytime soon. Now, on the surface, Trudeau thinks this is just a fringe minority with unacceptable views. But behind the scenes...
We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've come too far. There's too much to lose. We've got to just keep our composure.
In an effort to dodge the Freedom Convoy bullet, Trudeau has sadly and quite pathetically resorted to this. Last night, I learned that I have been exposed to COVID-19. My rapid test result was negative. I'm following Ottawa health rules and isolating for 5 days. I feel fine and will be working from home. Stay safe, everyone, and please get vaccinated. The man is triple vaxxed, says he feels quite fine, and is now going to be isolating for the entire weekend all the way through till Tuesday, quite conveniently. But guess what? If you're scared of something and you just hide and close your eyes, it doesn't make it go away. And when it comes to Justin Trudeau thinking about supply chain issues, this is the level of intellect we're dealing with here. Bread goes in, toast comes out, but where does the bread go? Anytime a large number of freedom lovers come together to make a significant change like this, you're going to get troublemakers showing up. And more often than not, they are agent provocateurs working for the state in an attempt to delegitimize and undermine a perfectly legitimate, peaceful protest. I've documented how this works in 3 of my documentary films, showing exactly how they embed their own aggressive agents into the mix to start stirring up trouble in an effort to give the police an excuse to shut the entire thing down.
At one point, the police were even caught infiltrating the protest by 3 giant, muscle-bound, supposedly anarchists wearing masks and holding rocks. Were threatening to throw the rocks at the police.
No! Put the rock down, man!
A union leader stepped up and said, "Take off your masks, put down those rocks, you're not with us."
You're a fucking cop, the 3 of you! Go on, it's our line! These 3 guys are cops, everybody!
Eventually, they ripped the masks off the guys, and the guys dove behind the police line. And that was all. It was caught on tape. It was exposed. They were exposed as infiltrators because they were wearing the same boots as the officers who arrested them. Plus, of course, you know, who dives behind a police line for protection if you're a protester? It's something that most protesters would be scared to do, to dive into a bunch of police who are there, you know, menacingly, you know, staring at them.
As we confirmed yesterday, the 3 people in question were indeed suited Quebec police officers performing their duties.
So we have to be prepared for agent provocateurs who may be placed in Ottawa in order to undermine and discredit thousands and thousands of legitimate, peaceful protesters. Trucker convoy reaches Ontario amid fears of violence from fringe groups in Ottawa. The trucker convoy making its way across Canada in protest of federal vaccine mandates has arrived in Ontario amid concerns of a violent rally in Ottawa. This is fake news, ladies and gentlemen. No one is threatening violence. There's a few opportunist grifters out there who will say this is all about shutting down the Capitol, but that isn't true. They're also wondering if this is going to end up like a 6th of January situation in the US, which is completely unfounded, insane, and totally untrue. So many angry people. Experts say online conversation around trucker convoy veering into dangerous territory. As a growing group of truckers and supporters make their way to Ottawa in a protest against vaccine mandates, experts say the rhetoric online concerning the convoy is getting increasingly worrisome. The group of truckers and concerned citizens began a cross-country trip to Ottawa over the weekend in protest of vaccine mandates in the country. The group expects to arrive in Ottawa this Saturday. The movement has since gathered steam nationwide as videos show highway gatherings in support of the truckers, but some experts worry the online conversation surrounding the convoy has veered into dangerous territory. There are people who genuinely believe that this is overreach by the federal government, but there are also a lot of other groups that are involved and individuals who are involved who have a long history of overheated rhetoric. Kurt Phillips, founder and former lead writer for Anti-Racist Canada, told ctvnews.ca in a recent phone interview. These guys are literally being funded by the Liberal government to spew this nonsense. I had to launch a go-get funding campaign called Operation Save the Press for Truth because the Canadian government recently granted $270,000 to the anti.ca website, which states that their mandate is to monitor, research, and counter hate groups. And the minions at Anti-Hate have been on a mass flagging campaign in an effort to silence Press for Truth over false claims that I'm a white supremacist. That's right, folks, the completely baseless false claim that I am a white supremacist, which, by the way, led to me being arrested after being attacked by a BLM mob. The group that made that false claim about me is the same group making this statement. Some of the organizers are trying to get people to dial back the rhetoric, but the genie's already out of the bottle, he said. People are energized in an incredible way right now, and it's hard to see something not happening. I don't know if it would be on the scale of January 6th in the United States, but there are so many angry people. Well, people are angry, all right, but that doesn't mean they're going to get violent. The fact is, people are fed up with this COVID-1984 nonsense. A recent poll shows that the majority of Canadians now finally believe that COVID is no worse than the flu. About 85% of Canadians believe they'll get either a mild or manageable case of COVID-19. That is encouraging, ladies and gentlemen, because we are starting to have a massive effect. And that can now be seen on display for everyone, thanks to the brave men and women who are now taking their trucks to Parliament Hill this weekend. By the way, here's a tweet that didn't age well, but it's quite fitting considering everything that's going on. While many of us are working from home, there are others who aren't able to do that, like the truck drivers who are working day and night to make sure our shelves are stocked. So when you can, please thank a trucker for everything they're doing and help them however you can. Oh, we will, Justin, we will. You might want to be careful what you wish for. Stay tuned, my friends, for my continued coverage of the largest convoy in the history of mankind. And if you appreciate my efforts to continuously counter all the propaganda, please check me out at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. Here's where you can sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution. Thank you so much to anybody who contributes to my efforts here at Press for Truth. And that's all for today, my friends. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button and share this information with the people who you feel need to see it the most. And stay tuned, my friends. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.